this week. Thursday, Adapted Fitness with Megan Williamson. Friday, rotating dance classes, hosted by Janice Lawrence and Joanne Cuff. And other initiatives, including presentations by the Disabled Independent Gardeners Association's Growable program and our Perspective series. Check out our updated programs calendar on our website, connectra.org, or find us on Facebook at Connectra Society.
Okay. Hello, everyone. People are popping in. I'll just give it a minute here. Okay. So everyone is popping in. Hello, I'm here from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. I'm filling in for Megan for one more week here. I just wanted to go through quickly equipment and then give a little spiel about what we're doing today. And then we'll get right into it. I'm super excited about today's workout, so we will get into that. So what I would recommend having is a dowel of some sort, whether that's kind of like me with a mop stick, hockey stick, broomstick, whatever you might have. If you have a band, that will also help today. So any kind of TheraBand or some kind of tubing, and then dumbbells, soup cans, whatever that might be. Not required, but definitely helpful in today's workout. We're going to be doing a little bit of cardio and some strength, and doing that in an interval base. So the more equipment you have, the more enjoyable it will be. But before we get started, I'm going to shift over my screen here. I'm also feeling a little under the weather for my COVID boosters, so bear with me as we get through it. If you see me stopping, keep going, and I will definitely cue you onto when to stop. Today's workout is going to look a little bit like 2-minute intervals of cardio, and then we'll stop and go into a strength exercise, and then we'll go back into our 2 minutes of cardio, and that cardio is going to keep switching up. So a little bit of variety today, a little bit of fun different movements that we can utilize. So we will get into that. Feel free to rest throughout as you need. We are going to go through 4 different intervals of exercises and then rest and then do all 4 again. But I recognize that you may need more rest than that. So feel free to do that as you see fit. Other than that, I think that is all for me. We'll get started in a warm up. So I always like to start into the neck and then shoulders and then down into the spine. So to start, we're going to go into the neck and tucking that chin in and just looking down towards the ground to start. And then we're going to lift and look up towards the ceiling and then back down. And all the way back up, seeing how far you can tilt back. And then we're going to go into left and right, relaxing those shoulders. And then we're going to tip. So we're going to take right ear to right shoulder, relaxing the left side. And then back to the other. Nice. So just tipping back and forth here. And then we're going to bring our shoulders up towards our ears into some shoulder shrugs, and then dropping those shoulders all the way down, and then back up and back down. Good. And then we're just going to go and opening up. So doing some shoulder circles here, rolling those shoulder blades back. Nice. And then we're going to bring an arm up. So for some, coming to here might feel good. And if you can open up even more, bringing that shoulder as high or that hand as high as you can overhead. Just getting a little bit of range here. So going all the way up and then all the way down as far as you can go. And we're going to switch sides. Nice. And we're going to bring both arms out in front, open up outward towards our sides here. If you can, keeping those arms out as straight as we can. For some, you might want to do one and then the other for balance. And then we're going to go into the spine. So we'll start with reaching overhead as far as you can reach, feeling the stretch on the sides here. You might need to place a hand on the side to hold you. That's okay. Let's switch to the other side. Nice. Back to the other side one more time. And over to the right. Good. Then we're going to tuck that chin in and we're going to roll down through the spine. You can roll just to your lap or all the way to the ground if that feels good. And once you get down towards as far as you want to go, whether that's the ground or your lap, you're going to think about taking one big inhale, expanding the ribs all the way around you, seeing how much space you can get in the back. Exhaling down towards the ground, and you're going to slowly roll up. We're going to lift the chest, look up towards the ceiling. Arms are going to come out to our sides. We're going to relax those shoulders down. And we're going to hold this here. And then we're going to come back to neutral. We're going to just rotate as far as we can to the right. And rotate as far as we can to the left. One more time to the right. And one more time to the left. Good. And then from here, we'll add in some wrist circles if that feels good to you. If it feels good and you're able to, feel free to also do your ankles. So just going in both directions. Good. And then we're going to rest from here. So what we're going to do is a little more pre-warm up. We're going to do 30 seconds of a bunch of different movements, and then we'll get right into the actual cardio aspect. So we're going to start with our arms out to our sides, just going in some arm circles. Here we go. So arm circles out to the sides. We want big circles. And then you can go back into small circles. And we're going to switch directions. Changing up the speed, changing up the size, whatever feels good. And then we're going to switch into arm jumping jacks. So bringing our arms overhead. If you're able to, you can also add the legs in here and opening up the legs. Good. If it feels good, you might just want to be out in front. Going overhead doesn't feel good. Just some different options here. And then we're going to switch into reaching from one side to the other. Good. Maybe picking up speed a little bit here now. Remembering to breathe, sitting up nice and tall. Slight knee bend if you're standing. Good. We have 5 seconds, and then we're going to go back into our arm circles. Good. This time we're going to go out towards the side. So bringing one arm out, making a circle, and then coming back in. Notice there's a little bit of rotation. That feels good. Getting as big as possible. Kind of like we're backstroke swimming. Good, and then we're gonna go back into our jumping jacks. Adding the legs if that's something that works for you. Good, remembering to breathe here. Going up front, if that feels better. And we're gonna switch to side to side reaches one more time. There we go. And we have 15 seconds left. Pulling nice and smooth all the way back, squeezing those shoulder blades back. And we're gonna rest here. Awesome. Grab some water if you need. And you're also going to grab a dowel if you have it, or whatever piece of equipment that works for you. Again, you don't have to have a dowel, so if you just want to do the arm motions, that works too. Awesome. I see new pieces of dowels every day, so that's amazing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go into some kayaking. We're going to do 2 minutes, like I said, and then we're going to go right into a strength exercise after. The first one we're going to do is some kayaking. So for those of you who are in any of my paddling classes, we do a lot of kayaking. So we're thinking about bringing one end of the dowel into the water, pulling back, and then switching to the other side. Again, you can use just your hands if that feels good. I also encourage you to throw on some music if you have on your end and add a little more spice to this workout. So going into our kayaks, we're going to start here. Just nice small movements. This is our first round, so just getting nice and warmed up. Thinking about what it might feel like to be on the water. So thinking about that resistance as we pull back. So pushing down and then pulling back. Good. Remembering to breathe here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Good. And we have 1 minute left. So finding a good pace that feels good. You might want to go faster or slower. Just something that's comfortable that you can do for 2 minutes. You should be able to talk like I'm able to talk to all of you. Awesome. We have 30 seconds left. Remember, relax those shoulders. We don't want to be up here. We want to be nice and low. Okay, we should be starting to feel a little warmer now. We have 10 seconds. And then we're gonna put the dowel down and grab our weight. Good, and rest. Putting the dowel down, grabbing our dumbbells or our soup cans, whatever that might be. Awesome. And we're gonna go into a shoulder press. So palms are gonna be facing me, and we're gonna just press overhead. So thinking about squeezing those shoulder blades down. If single arm feels good, do that to start, especially if balance is a challenge. Nice. Staying nice and strong in the core. We have 3 more here. And rest. Good. All right, grabbing those dowels again, we're going to go into our next cardio movement. So we're going to do a forward and up motion. So going out in front of us and then pressing up. Now pressing up is too much. Just going out in front also works. But thinking about squeezing the shoulder blades back every time we come back down towards the chest. Nice. And then once you get that motion, you can start speeding up. Remembering we want to be able to get through 2 minutes. And something I tell my clients is the RPE scale, so the rate of perceived exertion. So 1 being you're just resting, sitting on the couch, whatever that might be. 10 being like, this is the hardest thing I've ever done. You won't be able to talk. Right now, we want to kind of be at a 5 or a 6, kind of that mid-range of exertion. And that might mean you have to go faster or slower to get to that. And remembering that our arms over our head also is going to make it feel a little harder because we're asking more of our heart. Good. And breathing. And going up front if that feels better. Squeezing those shoulder blades. Good, we have 10 seconds. And then the next one we're going to do, we're going to grab our bands. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Setting that dowel down. And we're going to grab our band. So we're going to do our band pull apart. If you've been to classes before, you've definitely seen these. We are thinking about bringing our arms out in front of us, palms facing the ground, and we're going to pull the band far out as we can, out to our sides, bringing that band towards our chest. And if you need more slack, make sure you add more slack. And if you need more resistance, bringing the hands in closer, squeezing those shoulder blades back. A couple more here. Nice. And we'll rest there, grabbing our dowel again. And we're going to go into an alternating forward punch. So holding, again, the dowel at about shoulder width, and we're going to press out in front of us, alternating. Again, you don't need the dowel for this. You can also go into some jabs. But we're going to get moving here. We have 2 minutes of this motion, so squeezing those shoulder blades, sitting up nice and tall, remembering to breathe. And we'll get into it. Nice. Remembering to breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, which for some of us might be not what we normally do, but trying to encourage that. Good, we have 1 minute left. Nicely done, nicely done. Nice, strong, powerful punches here. Pulling the shoulder blades back. Nice, and then we are gonna grab our dumbbells if that feels good. I'm gonna demo without dumbbells. And let's rest here. We're gonna go into a front and lateral raise. So for me, balance is a bit of a challenge, so I'm going to do without weights. So we're going to do lateral raises out towards our sides and then bring our arms out in front of us. And we're just going to continue alternating. So both arms out in front, both arms out to the side. Dropping the weight definitely helps with balance. If you need that challenged, feel free to add the dumbbells. Good. Staying nice and strong in that core, bringing the belly button in towards the spine or thinking about that. Strong in the feet, strong in the pelvis, and just letting those shoulders move. Good, making sure there's no sway in the head, everything's staying stable. And 1, and 2, good, and we'll rest there. Awesome. Okay, next one we're gonna do is a bit of a dragon boat style paddle. So we're gonna switch to one side. I'm gonna switch to either side. But to start, I'm gonna start on the right. So we're pressing the dowel into the water and then pulling back. Top arm is kind of just there to guide. And we're gonna do this for 1 minute on one side. And then we're gonna switch to the other side. If one side is the only doable side, feel free to stay there or go into kayak. So we're halfway through the one side already. Adding in that rotation. If this is a new movement, going nice and slow, getting that form. Ten seconds here. Good. And we're gonna switch sides. So again, bottom hand pushing into the water, top hands guiding it, and then we are pulling back. If it feels better, just going into some kayak also works. Good. We are halfway. And then we'll have one more strength exercise, and then we get a nice little break. Good. 10 seconds here. Breathing, exhaling as we pull back. And we're going to rest here, grabbing our dumbbells again. And we're going to go into a bicep curl. So bringing both our dumbbells out towards the side, palms are going to be facing me, and we're just going to curl up to shoulder height. Good. Sitting up nice and tall. Keeping those elbows as tight as you can. Awesome. Couple more here, and then we get a rest and a little bit of a water break. And one more. Good. All right, setting those down. Grab some water if you need. Make sure we're breathing. So we got about a minute and a bit left, so feel free to move around if you need. Stretch out those arms. And then we're going to go through all of that again. Good, we got about 30 seconds. Shaking stuff out. Awesome. Okay, we got 15 seconds. We're gonna grab our dowels if we have them, whatever you are using, and we're gonna go right into our kayaks. And we're gonna start. So pressing that end into the ground and pulling. Good, adding the rotation, looking where you're going, and remembering to breathe. Second round here, so if it feels good, add a little more speed. There's some you might just want to get control, but if you do want that workout, we're going to start trying to aim for a 6 in the RPE scale. So talking is a little more challenging while you're exercising. Good. We are halfway. Nice. Pacing ourselves. Squeezing those shoulder blades back. Being intentional with our movements today. And hopefully feeling that cardio a bit here too. We have 20 seconds left. And then we are going to switch into a shoulder press. 10 seconds, finishing nice and strong, pacing ourselves. Whew, okay, we are putting those down, grabbing our weight, going right into a shoulder press. So we are having palms at shoulder height, elbows nice and tight towards our side. And then we're going to press up. It feels good to do one side first and then the other. Feel free to do that. Switching sides if you're doing single arm. Squeezing those shoulder blades back as we come down. And exhale as we press up. Good, we got one more here. And rest, good. Grabbing our dowels again, setting those dumbbells down. We are going into our forward and up motion. And if up is not an option, just going out in front of us. And let's go. Squeezing those shoulder blades back every time we come back to the center. And pacing ourselves. Our arms are overhead, so it's going to feel a little more of an effort. Good. All right, let's get comfortable with being a little uncomfortable. Nice. Breathing. Hope everyone's listening to some good music in the background, maybe following the beat. Good, we got 1 minute left. Maybe going out in front. Going overhead is too much. Squeezing those shoulder blades back. Good, we're probably sneaking up to a 6 or a 7. Talking is becoming a little harder. Finishing strong. Whatever you got in this, finishing and making sure our core is nice and strong, staying nice and controlled, pulling that dumbbell dowel back into us every time we go away. Nice. 10 seconds. This is probably the hardest one. And rest. Awesome. Okay, grabbing our bands. Go into our band pull apart. Catching our breath here, getting set up. Awesome. Placing our hands out in front and pulling that band across the chest. Exhaling as we pull. Arms out as straight as we can. If we need more resistance, bring our hands in closer. If we need less resistance, hands are coming out. Three more here. And exhale as we release. Grabbing our dowels again. Reminder, you don't need the dowel to get a workout here. So if the jabs feel better, feel free to do that. And we are going into our jabs next. So alternating jabs with the dowel if you have it. Otherwise, we're just going into jabs. We're doing 2 minutes of this. So pacing ourselves. Once you add the dowel, you're able to do a little rotation as well. Awesome. Halfway through our first minute. Good. Squeezing those shoulder blades back. Every time we bring the arm back. Sitting up nice and tall. Light knee bend if you're standing. Good. 1 more minute here. Finding a good rhythm. Should be at about a 6 or a 7. So adding speed if you feel that's what you need. Another fun fact, depending on the speed of your music, your heart rate might actually start following that music. So faster your music is, you might feel like you're exerting a little more effort, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. You want that heart rate pumping. Good. We have 30 seconds here. And then we're going to go into our lateral and front raises. Nice. We got 10 seconds, finishing this interval nice and strong. Awesome. 3, 2, and 1. Setting that down. Grabbing dumbbells if you want. For my balance sake, I'm not using dumbbells. And we're gonna go straight into some lateral raises. So arms straight out to our sides, palms are facing the ground. And then front raise, arms going straight out in front of us. This is gonna add a little bit of core when our arms are out in front, so squeezing that belly button in towards the spine. Going at our own pace here. We are halfway. Two more. And rest there. Awesome. All right, grabbing our dowel for one last cardio round. And again, we're going to go into some paddling, one side versus the other. Feel free to stick to one if that feels good. If kayaking feels better, do that. Just a couple of variations there. So I'm going to start on my left side this time. So digging into that water, pulling back, adding that rotation. And we're going to switch it 1 minute here. Once you get that form, opening everything up. So opening as we twist up, twisting backwards. Good. We're halfway on this side. Breathing, exhaling as we pull. Thinking about what it might feel like if there's water there. That little bit of resistance or a lot of resistance, depending on the day. And seeing what we can mimic on land. All right, switching sides. Opening up that chest, pulling back. If rotating is too much, just thinking about down and pull, top end, kind of just there to guide. This is our last quick little cardio. So putting it all on the line now. Should be reaching that 6 or 7. Awesome, adding some speed in this last 30 seconds. Awesome. Finishing nice and strong. Not letting our front shoulders collapse, staying nice and open in the chest. Ten seconds here. Good. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Awesome. Okay, grabbing our dumbbells one more time. We're going to go into our bicep curl. So palms facing me, but down towards the ground. We're going to curl up towards our shoulders, keeping those elbows nice and tight to our sides. Core engaged. Slight knee bend if you're standing. Keeping those elbows tight. Three more here. 2 and 1. Good. And we're going to rest there. All right, we're going to grab the dowel one more time. But this time we're going to just go into some nice easy kayaking. A little bit of a cool down, bringing that heart rate down. We'll do that for a minute, maybe selecting slower music, bringing that heart rate down. And we're just going to go into a nice gentle paddle. Good. Making sure we be intentional on our breath here. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Being nice and light in the hands. Just enjoying the movement. Our RPE should be down, starting to go down to maybe 3 or 4. Hopefully the heart rate is going down, catching our breath. Good. And we are going to rest there. Okay, we're going to go into some stretches. You can use your dowel. If your dowel is long enough for this, you can also use a band or a towel. What we're going to do is we're going to place the dowel or whatever implement you're using. So we're going to start with the right arm. It's going to go over our right shoulder. And then we're going to bring our left arm behind us and go into a tricep stretch. Now, if you don't have any type of equipment, you can also just bring right arm over the shoulder, the left arm's going down and around, and we're trying to bring our fingertips towards each other. But the dowel is nice. Add a little more of a stretch or that band. Trying to bring our hands as close as we can and then pulling the band or dowel apart. So top hand going up, bottom hand going down. Sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to switch. So taking it in our left hand, going our left shoulder, taking our right arm down low and pulling that dowel. Good. Again, if you want to get rid of the equipment, going left arm over, you can also do your tricep stretch here. Seeing if you can bring the other arm down and around. Nice. One more breath here. And exhale, we're going to slowly come out of that. We're going to move into a little bit of our bicep and chest. So you can bring your hands out to the sides like so. I'm going to take my camera down here. So you can bring your hands out to the sides, or you can clasp your fingers together behind your back, then pull your hands down towards the ground. You're going to lift that chest, look up towards the ceiling. And we're going to remember to breathe here. Again, if you're out here, seeing how far you can get your hand back. Stretching everything out here. We're going to go 3 more breaths. Big inhale, exhale out through the mouth. Exhaling, we're going to bring our hands out in front of us. And we're going to shift that weight or those hips back. Arms are going to go in between our head's going to go in between the arms. And we're just going to put pressure into our arms or hands as we stretch out the lats here. Going as low as you can, letting the head dangle. For some, you might just be here, and that's okay. That feels good. Seeing how much you can shift our hips back, putting pressure in our hands or arms. Another big inhale here, expanding the ribs. Exhale, and we're going to slowly come up from here. We're going to go into our neck, so tucking that chin in, bringing the nose towards the right armpit, relaxing the left side, and it feels good. The arms can also go back to get a little more stretch. So trying to get that nose to the armpit. Slowly coming onto that, tucking the chin in again and going to the left. Relaxing that right side, right arm can go behind you if that feels good. Big inhale as we exhale. We're going to come back to center, tucking that chin in again, tilting our right ear to right shoulder. And we're going to hold that here now. And coming back up to center, tucking the chin in again and tilting to the left side. Hopefully now you're noticing heart rate's coming down. maybe feeling like you're at a 2 on that scale. See if you can get a little further in that stretch. Okay, then we're going to add a wrist stretch. For those that it feels good for, you're going to bring your hand out in front and just use the other arm to bring those fingers towards you. You can also go up against a wall and put pressure into the wall here. Leaning into it, trying to get the whole hand on the wall. You can also do this on a desk, but really just seeing if you can get as much of a stretch in there as possible. Here might be super intense, so that's fine to stay there. Then we're going to switch sides. Good. Feeling the stretch all up in the forearms, adding more if you need. Good, and relaxing there. I'm going to invite everyone now, if it feels good, to close your eyes. We're going to do a quick little breathing exercise. So finding what's comfortable, whether that's seated or standing, we're going to relax those shoulders, thinking about squeezing those shoulder blades down, getting into a nice reset position, sitting up nice and tall. And think about our breath again, bringing inhale in, feeling everything expand, a 360 expansion around the ribs. Exhale down towards the ground. Inhaling all that good energy, exhaling any stress. Feeling grateful for our bodies for being able to show up today. A little pat on the back for you. Big inhale. And exhale. One more big inhale. Opening up that chest. Exhale. And coming back to center. Okay, everyone. That is all I have for you all today. Thank you for joining me in this workout today. Let me know how the RPE scale is working for you. If you have questions, let me know. Otherwise, thank you all, and I will hopefully see you all again soon.
Thank you, Sierra. I
Thank
love
you,
working
Janice.
out with you. Oh my gosh, it's so it feels so good, really. Thank you.
Amazing.
I still oh sorry. I still write down my or received rate of perception on my reflection log that you started with me 2 years ago. Yeah, and I have a question. So like yesterday I was working out really, really hard, and it doesn't impact